Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to this week's edition of the Monrovia City Council Recap. I'm Tyler Spicer. I'm joined today in the studio by Barbara Golar.
Hello, everyone.
And Carmen Martinez.
Hi, nice to meet you guys.
And we have a great recap for you today. But before we get into the recap, I just want to say that you can be a part of the KGM Recap team. All you have to do is send an email to kgmtv@gmail.com. We'd love to have you be a part of the team. And I believe you can also be in the behind the scenes crew as well. So if you want to help with, I believe, administration, scheduling, and production, I believe that's also an option. So send an email to kgmtv@gmail.com. We'd love to have you, and we'll get you plugged in.
Can I say one other thing
sure,
really quick? And also, if you are a youth, we'll really love to have you come on down to be part of the City Recap.
Definitely, yeah. I think that'd be really good to have the youth involved, especially since summer's coming up, right?
Yes.
So with that, the Monrovia City Council meeting, this most recent one, was on May 7th, 2025. It was called to order at 7:32 p.m. by Mayor Becky Shovlin. That was followed by the invocation by a Monrovia Police Department chaplain. I just got his first name, Steve.
Well, that's what she said, because
Right, yeah,
she
didn't get his last
say,
name.
because she didn't say his last name. Yes.
Right. And the Pledge of Allegiance by Mayor Pro Tem Dr. Kelly. All council members were present. At around the 5-minute mark, the council adjusted the order of business, beginning with Councilmember Larry Spicer, who provided an update on workforce development activities. And the key takeaway that I got from that was that the Monrovia Unified School District has approved the Monrovia Community Adult School as an official center for the American Job Center of California, which is really interesting. I didn't know too much about that, but that's really interesting, right?
That, friends, you have to understand that is really, really huge.
Yeah, huge success. Yeah.
For to be able to do that. And the other takeaway from that for me was the collaboration.
Right.
And
it took so many to put it together. It took so
absolutely.
Many. You
and that's what it looks like.
Right. Yeah, it's
you
good.
know, that's the beauty of it.
So before this announcement, I was going to the pottery class.
Oh, okay.
And they have a construction class next to it. It's over by Santa Fe.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get a construction, I guess, prep you for a construction license. Oh. And then they have stuff for if you want to do, be in the film industry, I think.
Oh, wow.
So they're already having all these really great things. So now that they're doing this, I can't wait to see what amazing things and opportunities there are. So if you are looking for an opportunity, this is something to really look into.
Yeah.
Right.
And you also saw with what was his name, Mr. Russell, that really praised Councilmember Larry Spicer and our city manager Dylan Feek, as well as the mayor, really working together. This was 5.5 years in the making, but it appeared like it was 2.5 years of hardcore that brought all of this together. So I'm so proud. So
if you're watching this, you should go back and look at the actual city council meeting so that you get more information on it and really get involved. I mean, they work so hard. We should really take advantage of something that's there for us.
Yes, and remember, like Tyler said, is like 5 minutes in.
Right. So, just a few minutes later, at about 10 minutes and 11, you covered it. John Russell stepped up to thank both the city council and the school board. No, you're okay, for their partnership in bringing this opportunity to the city of Monrovia. So all around, just good stuff. At 13 minutes and 21 seconds into the meeting, Mayor Becky...
I'm so sorry again.
No, you're okay. Go ahead.
Because of the fact, and I'm only saying this here so if people see it, that on May 13th, there is a Tuesday, May 13th, there is a job fair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
That's what Mr. Russell
shared. At the Monrovia community, right?
At the adult school.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you drive up on Mountain, they already have the
have the signs.
Yeah, they have a sign.
Because that's next week.
Yeah.
And that's good. And I know, they talked about during that portion, they said that they wanted to kind of target, the younger demographic to help them get jobs, because I know a lot of younger people are struggling with getting into the workforce right now and getting that.
And there's going to be 45 employers out there.
That's good. Yeah. So that's awesome.
Sorry.
13 minutes and 21 seconds into the meeting, Mayor Becky Shovelin confirmed that there was no closed session and therefore no report from closed session. At 13 minutes and 30 seconds into the meeting, the council moved into presentations and proclamations. Here's a quick rundown. May 2025 was officially recognized as Preservation Month. That's covered by the state of California and across the globe, Mayor Shovelin said. So there wasn't an official proclamation by the city of Monrovia for that, but she did present that.
And she talked about the historic preservation that we have here.
Right.
And then we just had the historic tour, or I can't think
Homes
of
tour?
the name, the homes
Yeah.
tour. So we were there and it was busy. It was
A
raining.
large turnout, right?
And it
Yeah.
was busy. It wasn't as busy as they've had, is what I had heard.
Yep.
But for it to be raining and sprinkling all the time we were there, it was very well attended. So thank you to the city and whoever else in the community, because I'm sure it's people from outside come
Right,
in.
yeah.
And more than anything, thank you to the owners.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
Opening up their
absolutely.
homes.
right,
come in.
Yeah.
right.
So,
Yeah.
and she mentioned something about that. So I thought it really tied in together, and it was so, it was the right month at the right time. So it was nice.
Definitely. The council also proclaimed May as Mental Health Awareness Month. They talked about, the resources that the city of Monrovia currently has for individuals who may be experiencing a mental health crisis. Also, Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. That was another thing that was covered, and just the importance of that.
So just a quick thing. I don't want to just like
Gleam over
blame
it.
over
Yeah,
the
sure.
mental awareness.
Oh, yeah.
I just found out a young mom succumbed to this.
Okay.
So if you know somebody, we don't know what we're going through, and sometimes no matter how much we help, there's still no help. But there is a lot of resources. So
Well, there's another thing, because I have a show on our station called Voices of Hope, and we've had several different episodes and everything on talking about mental health. But the one takeaway is that your friends, your family, your coworker, just always check in on them. How you doing? That kind of thing.
yeah, and so we don't want to just say, hey, it's a mental awareness month and
Absolutely.
have a great life, right?
Yes.
So we just want to emphasize that there's a lot of resources.
Yes.
So anyway,
One of them, right?
moving-
It's 988, right? Is that emergency line, right?
Yes.
I believe so.
Yes.
988
yes.
if you're experiencing a mental health
Yeah.
crisis. You can call 988, especially for veterans. I think you press option 1 and you can get connected to somebody who specializes in providing mental health resources to veterans. So a lot of resources out there. Utilize them if you need them, right?
So I think it's good that they proclaimed the month and that we have the resources.
Bringing attention to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, moving on.
Right. So I covered Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. That's really big for the city, right?
Yes, and that's and actually there's a event that's going to be happening at the library, but unfortunately I didn't write it down, so just go in and check.
Like
That's
the 13-minute mark, 30 minutes, right? I think they
yes,
start
yes, when they
discussing
start the proclamations.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Asian Americans have been big in our community.
Right.
So we have honor, I think, a family or a person that did a lot of stuff, and the name escapes me right now. But it's
The
nice.
park, right?
Yeah.
I forget the
think
name.
so.
We talked about it, I think,
But,
at the last couple
Yeah,
of
so we apologize to the family that we can't remember the name, but we thank all the Asian Americans that are in our community and make us stronger.
Of course, yeah. And also, or lastly, rather, Older Americans Month with a special recognition given to this year's honoree, Sheila Spicer Baptiste.
Okay, I think that was the part where Becky and Larry were like
Yes.
joking about because we're elder, we're older, we're
oldest council member?
eldest,
Yeah.
and they just keep
Yeah,
making
Yeah.
playing on words.
Right.
So it was kind
Yeah.
of cute to see it.
definitely.
Yeah. And it was actually well deserved. She not only volunteered at different organizations and everything, she also worked for the city for 40 plus years, and went over and beyond the duty and what she did.
Are you
as she was
related to
working.
her?
I am, yeah, and with her, management of that certain department within community development, it leaves my mind, but she was instrumental in code enforcement
Yes.
and the Monrovia Area Partnership and just bringing community together. And she recently retired. And something that really stood out to me was she retired and she stood in the city, right? She could have gone anywhere in the world and she stood in Monrovia because she loves it here. And a lot of people do. So congratulations on your retirement and just thank you for everything you've done for the city. We all appreciate it.
Yes, and thank you for the whole Spicer family. They're a huge column of this community.
Definitely. There was no student government report. The student government representative wasn't able to attend the meeting, so they said at the next meeting there should be a report. Next, we had the consent calendar that began at 31 minutes and 20 seconds into the meeting. That covered payroll, municipal code amendments, and several consultant service agreements. One item, CC5, was omitted and will be considered at the next meeting on May 20th. Councilmember Spicer motioned to approve items CC1 through CC14, and that was seconded by Councilmember Jimenez. If you'd like to view a full list of the consent items, head to the City of Monrovia website, click on City Clerk, and then Agendas and Minutes. All of these consent calendar items are in there. So,
Kind of looks like that.
Exactly. You just click on it, and it'll be
And
there.
it's blue, so you can click on that link to get more information.
Next, we had
I
public.
feel like Bennett White. Right?
Wheel of Fortune, right? Public input at 33 minutes and 50 seconds into the meeting, the public comment section opened with a total of 14 speakers. This took over an hour to get through, right?
I feel so disconnected, right? I've been trying to keep up with what's going on.
Yeah,
I was like blindsided, is that what the word is? I was
sure.
like I did not know this was an item or coming up.
Right.
So maybe a lot of you guys are not aware. So this might be a good time to jump into that city council meeting.
Yeah.
And
The 33
Tyler is
minute
going to
mark.
tell us.
Yeah, so one of the most talked about issues of the night was the proposed sober living facility on a residential street. Residents voiced concerns. Some might be based on, uncertainty and lack of information, while the property owner addressed the council to clarify the intent of the facility. This sparked a larger conversation, I think, which is how should Monrovia approach sober living and rehabilitation center in residential neighborhoods, right? It's a complex issue that invites continued dialogue, right?
Yeah, so one of the things that stood up to me is that a lot of people said in one way or the other that we're a Mayberry community, right?
Sure.
We're like happy-go-lucky, like nothing is wrong here. But we do have issues
But we're
like
not.
we do have issues like anywhere else.
Yes.
And I thought it was nice that the owner, who I thought was fairly young, stood up and, like I had told you earlier, remind me of a song and the way she approached the podium or the whatever thing. And she said that, she was the one and doing all this stuff. So there's definitely a lot of conversations.
Right.
There's a lot of pros and cons. And it'll be interesting to see what the city and the citizens at large decide on such a topic. But I mean, it is something needed. It's just, is it needed here? Is it being done correctly?
Right.
Would it
Yeah.
help us? Would it not help us? So you guys should really watch it.
And the property owner also said she's been collaborating with the community development department and having that open dialogue and trying to be transparent. She did offer her phone number to just citizens and anybody who's concerned about it. She said, if you have any questions or concerns, to contact her, and she'd be happy to address it. She said that she was a person in recovery, right? So that's really surprising for
And that
somebody
her
so
dad
young.
died from it.
Yeah, so that is nice that she's coming back to the city and she cares about creating an avenue of recovery for people.
And this particular is strictly for women.
I know, that's what I was going to say. And I
Yeah.
believe it was just for women.
Yeah, it is. It's strictly for women.
And it's 4 total, right? I think she said 4
I
women total in the right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did I write that?
I don't know. I
Right.
believe it
You
was
know,
for
But it's not going to be.
veterans. I'm
It's not
sure,
going to be
but-
like 20 people.
No, no,
right? Yeah.
no.
So, yeah.
No.
Right.
The thing of it is, and then I'm going to let that go, is that especially the way times are now, you have nobody is exempt from recovering of alcohol or drugs or anything.
Sure.
And so anything that's going to help them to stay that way. I think it is great how it's done. I don't know. And so that's one of those things that you have to sit down at the table and hash things out,
Yeah, have
to
that discussion, yeah.
collaborate,
Yeah,
to
but
figure
I think,
out.
I think the homeowners or the neighbors, I should say, because I don't know if everybody's a homeowner. There could be
Yes,
just
it's the
residents,
neighbor.
right?
Yeah.
But the neighbors that came to speak about it, they were very adamant that they do not want it there. So,
Well, I think it's also how they found out. It was a combination. But
Yeah,
the bottom
I-
line is
I'm-
to really sit down and figure out how that's going to work.
and yeah, what's best for the city,
To-
for the
Yeah.
neighbors, and for that
Everybody,
community,
everybody,
right? For-
how to make, because there's always a win-win. When you come into a area, you can always, if your mind is set on being able to figure out a win-win, it's going to take a little bit of time, but yeah,
It will happen.
Definitely.
But anyway, that took a lot longer than we've had on the pool
A
issues.
lot of people, right?
However, we still had somebody come and speak about the pool.
Yeah, it's still
Yeah.
coming and talking about the pool, even though I believe they came to an agreement, right?
yes.
So it's kind of
yes,
like,
it's done.
no, yeah, it's already been dealt with.
Yeah.
So
But we
It's very
did have somebody
interesting.
come and talk about it.
we still had somebody come and talk about it. I think they're going to continue to.
Wasn't that the two little girls
I
that said,
love
I-
that.
Yeah.
I used to in foster
It
with my
was
sister.
so. it was precious.
Yeah.
And the
Especially because
sister
they
came
were
back and said,
sisters.
that's not true.
Yeah.
Next,
Like, my sister was in line, but she doesn't swim. She doesn't swim. But anyway, it was
Yeah.
cute. It was cute. You guys should watch it.
Yes.
Next, we had the city manager report. At an hour and 16 minutes and 12 seconds into the meeting, City Manager Dylan Feek delivered several key updates, one of them being PFAS, a PFAS update. That is a cancer-causing chemical compound found in water systems. It's being addressed through upgrades. The city will receive $5.2 million through a legal settlement to support water treatment efforts.
I think I was ready to go and clean out my covers because I think he said it's what comes out of your Teflon pots and pans, right?
Right.
So I'm like, oh, like I'm
Yeah.
cooking with that stuff.
Yeah. Next, we had Canyon Park Power. So Southern California Edison is set to provide the final power connection needed at Canyon Park to make restorations. So I know a lot of people are excited about that, right?
Yes.
Definitely. And next we had EV, electric vehicle charging stations. So Public Works Director Alex Tachiki presented options for installing electric vehicle chargers that could recharge cars in as little as 20 minutes. That's huge. Cost options vary depending on city ownership versus third-party management. They also had a discussion on the possibility of installing solar panels on the roof of the nearby Public Works building. So that's...
The Citrus College on their parking lot
Yes.
is full of solar.
Oh, okay.
So we could do something like that, I
Sure.
would think.
Definitely, yeah. At an hour and 37 minutes and 7 seconds into the meeting, council reviewed solar panel installation at City Yard. There's no upfront cost and an eventual option to purchase those panels. At an hour and 43 minutes and 57 seconds into the meeting, the Mosquito and Vector Control District requested a letter of support for funding in areas affected by the Eaton fire. Council members unanimously backed the letter, which is really great because I know Mayor Shevlin mentioned that there's no more FEMA funding, right? And there's an opportunity for those mosquitoes to, spread disease, and it can become very dangerous for
So
for
you
the
have any
community.
sitting water, dump it.
Yeah, dump it over.
Yeah.
At an hour and 46 minutes into the meeting, the general plan annual report was presented. Monrovia is on track to meet its housing goals, though affordability remains a challenge. The Community Development Director, Sherry Bermejo, reported continued progress and emphasized the department's ongoing work on land use, safety, and environmental justice. Next, we had, at an hour and 58 minutes into the meeting, we had council member reports. So each council member shared highlights from their recent Cal Cities Leaders Summit visit to the California State Capitol in Sacramento. Councilmember Belden helped lead. He wasn't able to attend, but
Yeah.
he was able to mention that separate from that, he helped lead a student tour at City Hall and discussed energy policy progress with the Clean Power Alliance. Councilmember Spicer previewed Monrovia Days, which is coming up. I believe that starts on the May 15th, right? And then 16th, 17th, 18th. It's a 3-day event at Library Park. It's going
And
to be
it's always so much fun.
yeah.
So whether you have little kids or you're all grown up, it's still fun. It's there's something for everybody.
Yeah, the pie eating contest I heard is pretty popular, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder if they still did. I haven't paid attention, but they had like where they sunk the mayor. I don't know if Becky wants to go that route.
Mayor Adams, yes, they did.
Remember?
I do remember that.
So I don't think Becky. Maybe you could put your husband to do it.
So Councilmember Spicer reviewed Monrovia Days happening May 15th through 18th at Library Park. He also reflected on leadership workshops that he attended at the summit and the importance of trust and transparency in government. Mayor Pro Tem Dr. Kelly attended a session on environmental justice legislation. She mentioned 2 different bills, a Senate bill and Assembly bill that pertain to environmental justice. And she also previewed upcoming summer events. Councilmember Jimenez shared concerns about Senate Bill 634, which would reduce city authority on homelessness regulation. He emphasized the value of lobbying lawmakers directly, and he also mentioned during the meeting that he actually lobbied directly to the Senator Perez's chief of staff. That's pretty big. You don't have a lot of government
Right.
officials who are going up to Sacramento and knocking on doors and saying, "Hey, I'm here to represent my city." So, kudos to Councilmember Jimenez for lobbying for the people of Monrovia. Mayor Shevlin echoed the same concerns on SB 634. She said that there's a lot of amendments now happening with that, and Cal City's also changed their stance on that Senate bill, so we'll see what happens there. She also discussed federal funding uncertainties as it pertains to the federal government and what's coming from the White House. And she also flagged the lack of state investment in Proposition 36, which focuses on drug and theft crime penalties. That was passed in November of 2024. That's some of the stuff you might have been seeing on the news about, retail theft and smaller drug-related crimes.
And we see it all over social media, right?
Right.
Everybody gets upset, like, oh, now everybody can walk, and so they're trying to correct.
That changed it now because I know a lot of law enforcement agencies are now enforcing that, and a lot of people are getting arrested and cited for that. So we'll see what happens in the coming months.
All the social media words were heard.
Right. Yeah, they were heard. Next, we had administrative reports.
Well, also, I maybe because I was involved with this and it was huge that the mayor and 3 of the city council members attended. It was a huge event that 7 organizations put this together.
The Cal Cities? You're talking about something else.
That just it happened this past Saturday. They were all there, as well as the school board, and this was honoring Anna H. Jones and Sophia Jones, Sophia Jones.
Yes.
And it was a huge event that we got coverage, even from the Star News, and so it's all over everywhere. And happy to announce that KGM, Community Media of the Foothills, was also involved with that. Yeah. And there's a video out for you to see about these women. They were not from here, but they moved to Monrovia, and they were on Markgrave. I'm not going to give everything away because I want you to go and really check out these remarkable Black women.
Mm-hmm. They were very not only successful, but they had a lot of achievements. One was a doctor, and the sister was an educator in a time where women couldn't really do these things.
Absolutely.
And Black women was even harder.
Yes. So check out our YouTube channel, and you'll see their story there.
Right.
Very empowering story.
Yeah, because also there was talk about even trying to get in schools, and
Yeah.
you know, and I
For
even
Tyler, we
overheard-
can't get him. Let him. We're
I know.
in between the two
No,
of us.
you're okay. You're okay.
No,
We're good on
but
time.
but I didn't want us to skim over that
Sure.
because of the fact that, you know, all of them except for Dr. Kelly, which was not available, attended.
Yep.
And all of them spoke about that, and it just was important to share that. That's all.
Definitely.
sorry.
No, you're okay.
No, I'm not sorry.
2 hours and 32
Yeah.
minutes into the meeting, the council reviewed administrative reports. What was discussed was the annual comprehensive financial report for fiscal year 2023 through 2024. Some of the key financial highlights: $48 million positive net position citywide, so that's really good. $14 million increase in total assets for the city. A little over $24 million in general fund balance, and $2 million increase in internal service and enterprise funds. Auditor Ryan Domino reported no instances of fraud, waste, or abuse, and the overall consensus of that report was that the city is doing well financially, and they're moving forward to continue to do well financially, right? So that was it as far as the meeting goes. The meeting was adjourned at 10:17 p.m. in memory of Mary Bourne, a Monrovia trailblazer, and get this, the first African-American female bus driver for the
Yes.
Monrovia Unified
Yes.
School District.
Miss Mary.
Miss Mary,
That's
yes.
what they call it, Miss Mary.
And I heard, I'm going to stray just a little bit off topic, I heard that she belonged to Second Baptist Church in Monrovia.
Yes.
And I heard, I don't know if I'm correct in this, that she was an usher for the church for over 70 years.
She probably was.
Yeah, that's amazing. 70 years of service to your church. I mean, that's really amazing.
Yeah.
And she was a trailblazer for many women and African Americans, and she has a powerful legacy that helped pave the way for others. So
We thank her for opening the doors for us.
definitely.
Yes. Yes.
So,
yes. Yes.
with that, do you guys have anything else to add?
Just that it was a long, fruitful meeting that you should really watch
Almost
in
3 hours,
totality.
yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
you don't have to watch it all in one sitting. You could do it at the luxury of your own home. But it's important for us to be involved, and
Definitely.
so
Yes.
it's like every time I watch a city council meeting, I'm like, oh, I didn't know about this,
Yeah.
you know. So there's a lot of stuff that go on that we're not always privy to, unless we get involved.
Sure.
So we'll welcome your comments and
Definitely. Yeah.
And join us.
Yes. KGMTV@gmail.com. We'd love to have you be a part of the team. You can be a co-host, or you can also help out behind the scenes. So KGMTV@gmail.com. We'd love to have you. With that, the next meeting is on May 20th, 2025 at 7:30 p.m. at Monrovia City Hall. With that, thank you both for being here.
You're welcome.
We'll see
thank
on
you for
the-
having us.
We'll see you on the next episode. Take care.